Testing 1 2.
It's on. There's the start. Hey guys, thanks for watching. You're at the next episode, The Landscape, and we are chatting with Harold here. The microphone is right here. Speak into the microphone, not to the camera. I'll turn it this way.
And when I speak, I go, that's right. Should I look at you or the camera?
Whatever you like. That's right. So we're speaking here with Harold, and he is known online, Instagram famous as the Volcano Pilot. And he and I were very fortunate. Well, he more fortunate than me, but he was very fortunate to fly with me just the other day here in Iceland. And it's the specific reason why we came to Iceland this time around. And we set aside 5 days to fly, and thankfully he called me on the first day and said, let's go, let's fly. And we had a fantastic flight, didn't we?
We did.
Well, I did. We got great results.
I usually do have awesome flights any day.
And we'll talk more about that soon. So you've been flying for how long?
Today or...
No, just in general.
I've been flying for 26 years.
26 years. Okay.
I know. I look like 28.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
You started very young.
Very.
Very, very young. And tell me, how did you get to become Instagram famous? Because just to give a bit of backstory, I mean, I came about because you'd taken several of my friends who are keen landscape photographers flying, and so got to follow you on Instagram. So how did that all come about?
I think it's the power of social media.
Right.
But initially, the guy that got me on Instagram, you can blame Chris Berger for that.
Okay.
He's a pretty decent photographer back in California.
He might be watching this.
Oh.
He's amazing.
He's decent.
He's the best ever.
If he just gets his act together, he would be okay. No. He's an awesome guy. Him and I are flying back to Reykjavik, and he goes, "Are you on Instagram?" No, I said. You should. No, you should. So I take it out a couple of days later, and all of a sudden I have like 300 followers when I sign up, because he tagged me.
Oh, great.
So when good photographers and bad as well.
What can I say?
When they tag me or
well, I've been bad at doing that. I'm sorry.
Say something nice about me.
Yes. As I always do.
Like
as I
you
always
do.
And always will.
From now on, you probably will, because we're bonding, right? So he's the reason why I got there, and I think he's the major catalyst in getting people on board.
And he has some sort of Instagram or marketing background, you said, or not?
Chris?
Yeah.
No,
he just thought this Instagram thing was cool.
Yeah, he goes like, I take pictures, I post them on this thing called Instagram.
Right.
It's a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
I always say the story, I knew Chris when he had like 100,000 followers.
How many has he got now?
But,
a million or something?
3-point-something million.
Really?
Jesus. But at that time, Instagram was probably like 100,000 people.
Right.
Anyways.
Right. Okay. Not very
maybe
big at all.
200.
Right. Okay.
But he's an awesome photographer.
You now have how many followers on Instagram? I mean, you must have checked before you did this interview.
Of course.
You check it every day. Your mood just fluctuates depending.
It does. And like in the old days, like a couple of days ago, when I had sub 10,000, it was like 9,900, and it fluctuated from like 70 and down to 60 something. I go like, somebody defollowed me, like unfollowed. You said unfollowed. And that
terrible.
was just, it was heartbreaking.
Tragic.
I go like, what did I do?
Pour yourself another beer or whatever else you drink.
Of course.
What is your drink of poison? Beer and what else?
Whiskey.
Clearly not before you fly.
Well, it depends on how long before, right? So
it depends on who you're flying with. Right. That's
it's
a joke.
The 8-hour rule.
It's a joke, everybody.
It is a joke.
Joke.
But of course, I'll be flying in a couple of days, so this is before that flight.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd hope
we'll give it some time.
Okay.
Right?
How often do you fly in that case then? And who is the people who are flying with you?
I guess majority of people that fly with me are photographers.
Yes.
They like me and I like them.
Right.
So I like to take pictures myself.
Right.
And I've done that for a long time.
You said that you like. Did you study photography, or you got your interest is photography before flying? Is that right?
I kind of did courses in high school and that.
Yep.
I was gonna be a photographer. That was
Right.
my goal, because I thought, in all honesty, that I couldn't become a pilot. But then at 19, 20, I started learning training for the private pilot, and
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
But one of the things that so I'm not your typical pilot.
Right.
I'm not.
Well,
going
anyone
like,
who follows you on Instagram knows that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that would dress up in a uniform and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. This is not me.
Right.
I'm licensed to fly the airlines, but it's not what I do.
Right.
But this connection with people, I love.
Yep.
I love the proximity, and being able to do this and shooting at the same time and seeing their results. It's awesome.
Right.
And I've made so incredible good friends through this.
Yeah.
Good friends.
Good friends, as
Good
opposed
friends.
to great friends. Great friends. Who are the more? Are there any sort of more famous people or famous photographers that you've flown with that come besides present companies?
Yeah.
Thank you. No one in particular that comes to mind.
No, all the photographers are famous. All photographers are special.
They all like to think they're special.
They are special.
They all like to think they're special. So
No, I've flown with a couple, so
right,
yeah.
all right, and so you've been flying in Iceland all your sort of piloting life, then, or you fly overseas as well?
Well, I haven't flown like myself overseas except once, but no, I don't fly overseas except when I'm testing out a new plane or having fun with friends or.
Right.
I flew in Australia the other day.
Awesome.
In Sydney.
Yeah, lovely.
But there, I had to have a local pilot with me because I'm not licensed to fly Australian registered planes in Australia.
Okay.
So I had to have another pilot
Somebody
with me.
there. Right.
An instructor, which was good.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know my way around either. So
That helps. Because when we were flying the other day and we had some, a bit of snow or rain happening over here, you were quite cautious about that. How tricky is it to fly here?
Oh, I'm just scared. That's I'm not being cautious. I'm just shit scared.
Right.
No, it's pretty tricky.
Right.
It is. I mean, you'd have sunshine like a couple of days in a row back in Australia.
Yes.
The weather doesn't change that much.
Yeah.
You've been in Iceland for a couple of days. You saw how it was today, for example.
Unbelievable. Sun's out one minute and it's snowing the next.
Where you have sunshine coming in and you're going like, whoa, that's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
And it starts hail.
Right.
Or raining just heavily.
Yep.
So these are the conditions, and of course we got mountains, we got wind.
Yep.
We almost never have calm winds or just no wind at all. It hardly ever happens.
Right.
And then there's temperature.
Yep.
And snow in the winter.
So tell me, you were talking about, while we were flying, you were talking about how clouds create their own wind as well, which I was a little bit oblivious to. The mountains creating wind, or at least funneling wind, etc., etc. How much is temperature affecting the wind here as well?
Well, every wind is... I'm not going into meteorology now.
No.
But every type of wind is is the result of a pressure differential.
Right.
And pressure differential is caused by heat changes.
Right.
So that's why we have wind in general.
Yeah.
But as I was explaining to you on the flight, when we have cumulus clouds that are updrafts and going up, that eventually will make a rainfall down when the drops are heavy enough to fall down.
Right.
You have a downdraft, and you have an updraft. So the wind comes in the vertical plane instead of the horizontal plane that we're used to. So we're flying through this all the time, and we're bumping around and getting ups and downs.
I'm not good at that.
No, we tried that. I was trying to get you to,
you did do a little bit of this and that. Yeah, that was great fun.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
You loved that.
No, I didn't. No, I'm not a great flyer. I do it because it gets me the results.
You did well, though.
Thank you.
You did.
I only threw up on you 3 times, so that was good.
I got a washing machine. It's okay.
I noticed that you've cleaned your pants for our interview. That's good.
I did.
A couple of days later, they'd be a bit stinky otherwise.
You come home and the Mrs. Volcano Pilot, right?
Mrs. Volcano Pilot. There's a Mrs. Volcano Pilot, everybody out there. I'm sorry. He might be good looking, but he's not available.
Oh, I dropped it. No. Mrs. Volcano Pilot would go like, again. And I go, yep.
Yeah,
again.
I couldn't help myself.
No, it's all over the pants.
How often do you fly then? Because this is not your... You do something else as well, which I was equally interested in.
I'm a choir instructor.
You're not a choir instructor. You run your own business outside of that, which we cannot go into. But then you do the flying, a couple of times a week, roughly? Yeah, depending on the conditions and who's in town? Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's all dependent on the weather.
Now let's talk about the photography, because photography is why the people are watching at home. What is it that people come to Iceland to photograph? I know, of course, but then what are you most commonly asked for?
Rivers.
Rivers.
I'd say that's like the
delta stuff.
Yeah,
the colors,
the braided rivers,
the braided rivers,
and all that.
And where are they mainly
found?
And
I'm going like, well, have you ever seen the West Fjords?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but the rivers are down south, so they're not up west. But the West Fjords are beautiful as well.
When's the best time to photograph the West Fjords? Any time of year, or?
I've done it in winter, and it looks beautiful that time too.
Right, because you've got snow coming down to the sea level.
All the way to the sea.
Amazing.
It's just beautiful mountains.
Yeah,
all around
right.
But summertime would call for the best weather and conditions.
So if you come into Iceland and you want to fly with Mr. Volcano Pilot here, come in the summer.
Most chances are that you get good weather in the summer.
How often do you get to fly in the winter compared to the summer?
I had 3 flights in February.
3 flights in February. That's it. For the whole 28 days in February, you flew.
It was
3
a short
times.
month, but still.
You might have been able to squeeze 1 or 2 extra flights in, but
maybe. But it was just
So for a photographer planning like I've done, to come in February and allow a 5-day window in which to fly. February's probably not the month to do it.
Chances are you're not getting it.
You're going to be sitting in your hotel room, or you're going to be sitting in a pub like we are drinking beer.
That's good too.
It's fine.
It's good fun.
It's fine, but it's not going to get you the photographs you want, unfortunately.
I could sell you some, and
How generous of you.
Yeah.
That'd be ace.
No problem whatsoever.
So the braided rivers, they're mainly down on the southern coast there, like where we flew. Beyond that as well? Because we flew for how many kilometres that way? We drove it the other day, yesterday. A couple 100k, is it?
No,
not even
that.
Right.
You're looking at 150 kilometres
right.
or so.
So for those coming and wanting to fly with this young gentleman, you've got to allow probably 2, if not 3 hours, right? In order to do the braided rivers and have a good play around.
The only thing I heard was young. And I go, I love you, dude.
I know. I've got to do that. I've got to pump up your tyres.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because if I don't, you will. And it sounds a lot better. It sounds a lot better coming from me than you.
True. It's more authentic being,
True. So a couple hours. Allow a couple hours.
Yeah.
Definitely. And don't, whatever you do, just as a side tip, no matter how popular you are on Instagram or how popular you think you are, this guy still has bills to pay. Don't come to him and say, can I hit you up for a free flight and I'll promote the hell out of you on Instagram? He'll just politely say thanks but no thanks. Is that right? Because he's still got to hire the plane, pay for the fuel, pay for his time. Just be respectful about it all. Is that enough said?
Kinda.
Kinda. I'm saying it nicely.
There is no amount of publicity or likes that pay for a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
And
I have to pay rental for the plane.
Yes, and to store the plane as well.
Everything.
Everything's those hidden costs that people don't realize.
Yeah. When I get to recuperate my investment in my training and all that, I'll be a happy guy.
That's a great
But
point.
I'm far from it.
Right.
So far.
He's doing this for the love, by the way. Would
Well,
you be fair to say that?
Of course.
You don't have to do this.
No.
No. You've got another job. You've got kids and family to spend time with.
Yeah, to spend my money.
Yeah,
No. I meant to love and protect. Yeah. No, of course. You gotta have some dough coming in there.
Of course. So, if you're coming to Iceland to shoot the aerials, braided rivers is the way to go. What else do you think is probably the sexiest part of Iceland that often doesn't get seen, that you think looks great from the air? What is it?
I said the West Fjords.
The West Fjords is easily.
They're awesome.
What makes it so
but
good?
The Highlands, just over the glaciers, northeast of Vatnajökull, and that area is like, wow, crazy.
If we're looking at a map of Iceland, where are you talking about? In the middle?
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And how accessible is that? Accessible all year round?
No. You can't drive there.
No, you can't drive there, but
you can drive there in maybe for 6 to 8 weeks a year. That's it.
In a July, August sort of period.
But you can fly there.
In terms of flying, when's the best time to fly over that area?
I'd say
photographically
from June, July until October, November.
And we didn't go there? It's not June yet. I need to come back.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the beauty of Australia is that you're on the southern hemisphere. So,
yes.
So when it's December,
yes,
November, December,
yes,
you're getting really, really hot.
Nice
and you
weather.
gotta come to Iceland. Really, really stinking hot.
Yes.
And you have to come to Iceland to cool down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect for you.
But then if we come this time, if we come in December, November, December, you're in winter and we don't get to fly because of shitty weather.
You have all that. Don't come here for 5 days. You wouldn't travel all the way to Australia for 5 days, right? You come here for,
it's all we can afford to do. It's all we can afford to do.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the prices in Iceland, though.
That's okay. You can't do anything about it.
I'm trying my best, though.
If you could just speak to the local authorities, the higher up people.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
I got a plan there.
Okay. Yeah. Should I mention prices?
No, we never talk about prices.
We never talk price.
We never talk price.
Okay. Talk price when you're interested. But up until then, just save up your dollars. What else can we talk about?
We can talk about flying generally because I love that.
Right.
We can talk about photography and tips and tricks.
You have a little 172, Cessna 172. Is that the only one you fly?
Right now, I'm in a club.
Yeah.
That's that has a few aircraft, but my favorite is a 170, which is a tailwheel plane.
Is that the one that we flew?
We flew in.
The OMG. Right. Oh my God. Yep.
It's a very nice plane.
Yeah.
But you want to break the news now and here because I'm buying a plane.
You are not.
I am.
Serious?
Yeah.
Hold on. We talked about this the other day. That
we did.
Serious?
We did.
When did this all come about?
Well, no, this has been in the works.
This is since I paid you, isn't it? You've gone. I've now got the money to buy a plane. Perfect.
That's it. And I'm going to have you. Sorry about that, but you said you were going to hire me for a week.
I did.
I would need that.
This is
pretty soon.
Okay, I need to pay a down payment on that.
Deposit. If you don't mind. Right?
That's fine. I'm happy to do that. I'll just rob a bank. So tell me about this plane thing. Is this for real?
Yeah. So it'll be a Cessna 180.
A 180.
Yep.
And how does that differ to the 170?
It's slightly bigger.
Right.
So I can carry more, travel further,
Yeah.
and fly faster.
Right.
But slower when you need to. And It's an awesome plane.
When you say carry more, so like, are you going to be able to carry more photographers at any one time?
Not
Or not, or
necessarily,
just wait?
but I can bring more gear around.
Right.
And of course, when you know, if you're like 3 photographers in a plane with a pilot, it's I've tried that. It's sketchy because you're always leaning to one side, right, more than the other.
Of course.
So you're kind of missing out when you're my side and you're not their side.
Correct. And you have to try and please everybody.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able in your plane to have people in the back and be able to shoot out of the windows? Because I've seen a guy down in Dunsborough in Western Australia who flies a lot of photographers had little window latches put in the back windows of his plane so that he could have people sitting in the back to shoot out of as well.
I'm hoping to say yes.
Good.
I'm hoping to be able to say yes.
You're not leading me along, are you?
No.
That would be amazing.
It would be.
Is it 4 seats only, the 180? And how long could you fly for? Because at the moment you said you could fly longer with the 180, so further.
So the range of that plane is around 6 hours.
6 hours,
yeah.
Right. And the current one you've got is
3.5.
Is that all?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. That's significantly bigger than That's unreal. And so when's this coming online?
Probably in early June.
A new plane or a second-hand?
It's a second-hand.
Right.
Yeah. They don't make these planes anymore.
Don't they?
No.
Right.
They quit a long time ago.
So when you buy a plane, is this coming from Iceland? Is this an Icelandic
yes,
plane?
It's been here.
And you know the history of the plane pretty much, or like do you get like in buying a second-hand car, or it's got like the kilometers on it, or the flight time on it, or something?
Of course, everything about the plane.
Right.
It comes from good friends, and I know them. They've handled the plane well and maintain it quite well. And I've been following they've had to make some repairs lately.
Yeah.
I've been following that very closely. So yeah, I know the plane.
Right. Okay.
And it's a good plane.
Great. That's exciting.
It is.
Wow.
It's awesome.
Wow, that'll be brilliant. It's another excuse for me to come back.
And it'll be cheaper as well. No, I'm kidding.
That would be good.
It
I
would be.
like that. That's okay. That'd be good for everybody. If you and I were to fly again, so long as you don't do any of that, is it possible for us to fly around the whole island?
Of course.
Can you, do
Takes
this?
a bit of time.
Of course. But you have airfields all around the island that you could land on. You have permission to do so.
Of course.
Wow, that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Do you feel that
we could take the tent and just camp out somewhere?
No, that sounds terrible. I just want to sleep in a nice hotel.
You're getting old, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting very comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
I've been spending too much time with Mary. Is it, when you land, are you talking about places where you need a tent because it's going to be so remote? Or are you just saying it's a cheap-ass way of doing it? A bit of fun?
Might as well.
Throw the swag in the back? Yep. We call them swags in Australia.
Swags.
Have you slept in a swag? A swag is like a mattress in a tent, and you just roll it up at the end of the day and chuck it in the back of your car. It's quite thick. It'd probably sit on this couch type thing.
No,
but it's like,
I haven't done that.
Take it anywhere.
Because
it's unreal.
We live in Iceland.
And you don't camp out all that
often.
And
it's a bit colder
it's
than Australia.
It's a little bit colder.
It's a little bit. Yeah. But we haven't got snakes or mosquitoes or, anything that's got to kill you.
You guys have mosquitoes. I bloody killed one the other day. It was this big. It was huge. It was like our mosquitoes on steroids.
Right.
Reminds me of a quick story, because this is supposed to be more about you than me. I went flying with a guy in the Kimberley, which is in the northwest of Australia, a very remote part.
Okay.
And legend has it that the helicopter pilot doesn't like sleeping out at night, because one night he woke up with a snake curled up in his sleeping bag. He slept out, as in not in a tent, and he woke up with a snake curled up in his sleeping bag. How would that be?
I would freak out.
I
love snakes. I mean,
I've
had snakes.
Right.
But
you've kept them as pets?
Yeah. When I lived in Denmark.
Does Oliver have snakes? Is he allowed them?
We can't allow snakes in Iceland, which is
not at all.
Stupid.
Really? You can't keep him as a pet?
No.
Okay.
But no snakes in Iceland, but I would probably freak out if it was like a brown snake or a rattlesnake or something. Yeah.
Let's talk about the photography side of things.
Spiders. Spiders.
Spiders. We have lots of good spiders.
I know.
Yeah, we have lots of yummy spiders.
I missed out on the what do you call it? The huntsman.
The huntsman. Oh yeah, the huntsman. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like in your house. They're just up in the corner there.
When I was pre-flighting the plane down in Sydney,
yeah,
there were like millions of ants coming out of the tail.
Out of the tail.
Yeah.
Why?
And the flight instructor goes like, "Nah, it's
That's
normal.
okay.
It's normal."
Right.
I would. They were everywhere. They'll fly off.
Right. They won't last long when you're doing 160 kilometers an hour or something like that. Photography wise, you would, let's talk a little bit about that and shooting from planes, because you've got a bit of experience doing that. Saw you with your camera doing a little bit of this. So, what's the ideal lens to have and settings to have?
My go-to is 2870.
28 to 70.
Nikon 810.
Right.
It covers everything.
Yeah.
I would like to have like 14 to 16 as well, but this covers 95% of everything I shoot.
Right.
If I go further, like 120 or so, it's too much.
Too tight.
Too tight. The higher the shutter speed, the better for the most cases.
What are we
talking? But after our flight, I went on a heli flight.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm still getting over that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It was the coldest. It was the coldest night of my life. I've never shook.
Yeah.
I've never shivered.
Really?
Like out of cold.
So it was all doors off. Were you flying around here, by the way? Because I saw a chopper fly over here. A Robinson 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was you.
We were doing that.
Right.
I was in a 66. No.
A 66.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one.
So
that's got how many seats?
I'll hook you up.
Thank you.
No problem. So we were in 66 doing the shooting the 44 and vice versa.
Right.
Another photographer out there, and I was playing around with the shutter speed. So I managed to get down to 1/60th.
1/60th.
Yeah.
From a chopper.
From a chopper.
Handheld, obviously.
To shoot the other chopper.
That's insane.
Just to get the blades,
You've obviously got image stabilization on your lens, and you have to take lots to get one that's good.
Yes.
But you got it down to 60th.
Yeah. That's it.
For the kids at home,
don't try it.
Don't try that at home.
It's like at least 100 and 1/100th or
1,000 or something. What do you shoot on?
If you shoot 1,000th a chopper, if you shoot a chopper by that speed,
yes,
you get those blades just fixed.
Sharp, yeah.
And
that's not
you
what
don't
you
want that.
But if we're shooting aerial photographs looking down from your 170, what are you recommending the shutter speed?
You want to shoot like 500 or up to 1,000.
1,000, okay.
Even more.
And more if you've got a higher megapixel camera.
True.
I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're shooting phase 1,
yep, you
should know that it takes a lot of light.
Yeah. And the other thing is they tend to seize up a lot, so you're probably not shooting many pictures anyway.
You're not a phase 1 guy, are you?
I'm not a phase 1. I'm a Pentax shooter, and it's very reliable. It works very well. I think I was shooting on about 1,500 at ISO 400, and I was getting, because we had sunshine most of it, I was getting f-stops of around 4.5, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't like having a wide open because it can go a bit soft on the edges. It's good to stick around. Ideally I'd be shooting at f8, f11, not for the depth of field, but for the sharpest aperture of the camera lens. But I'm always erring on the side of caution because I don't want to spend the time and the money with you to go up and have the pictures not be sharp because I've chosen the shutter speed that's a fraction too slow. So for those at home, about 1,000th of a second is your ballpark to start with. Sure. And then I always say, take a few shots to start with, make sure your settings are right. You never know if you're shooting on shutter priority or aperture priority, all of a sudden you're not checked that you're 3 stops overexposed or underexposed.
Fix your settings before you
do the good check.
And just work on them from there.
Yep.
But you always fix those before you fly.
And what is, if you're shooting on a 28 to 70mm lens and you are wanting to shoot the stuff that we're doing, the detail, the braided rivers, all that sort of nice stuff, what sort of height are you thinking is the ideal for you?
I never go below 500 feet.
You're not allowed to anyway, right? Or,
no. We're probably flying in around 1,000.
1,000. Because I meant to ask you that. I looked a little bit, but I didn't look all the time, of course. What were we flying on average at? About 1,000?
Yeah.
1,000 to 1,500, wasn't it? Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere there. Over ground.
And the best thing that Harold can do for you, Mr. Volcano Pilot, is that he bloody knows his stuff. And given that you have this photographic interest as well, and you shoot a little bit yourself, I found that in the end, because you knew what I wanted to shoot, because I'd shown you the pictures beforehand, you were like, yeah, I know where to go for that. When we're flying, I just found that you just would just go, yeah, this is pretty good. Unless I obviously pointed it out, but you knew where to take me, and then also knew the areas to hit and do a few loops of and stuff. And what I liked about what you did is that we just didn't circle over the same spot again and again, because that's not much point in that. You kind of would extend it out a bit and move around a bit and what have you.
Change the angle.
Change the angle so you can get a few good goes at the same spot, but it's not the same thing time and time again. I like that, which was obviously purposeful.
Well, you got to think about where the sun is coming from, what angle you're at, if there are clouds around or whatever is making that shot.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm looking at you when you're shooting. It's a bit hard with the Pentax.
Right.
So because you're out here,
you can't see me.
I can't see the camera.
Right.
But usually I see where they're pointing at, what they're trying to get. Right. So I kind of maneuver the plane around.
You can't hear the shutter speed. You can't hear the shutter going at all.
No. Well, sometimes I do.
But if they're lying back and they're bored and they're yawning and they're starting to fall asleep, you probably reckon that you're in the wrong spot.
That happened, yeah.
Like I was doing, dribbling from the mouth.
You know, I have nothing more. I go crying, and then we do some 0G.
Some which?
Some 0G.
0G.
Your favorite?
No. Is that bad stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. I'm not doing that again.
It wakes people up.
Yeah, it makes them feel pretty sick in the stomach as well.
You know? Sometimes.
Like
if you're
Are we? What? Right. Okay. Like a. We flew. You know how we flew over Gluggafoss? Gluggafoss. 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 We went there yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Had a look around. It was awesome.
Okay.
Wow, it was great.
Don't tell people where it is.
We'll bleep that out. We'll bleep it. You'll hear this. We went to beep, and then it was really good, and we took all these photographs of bleep. That was great. Because we went, of course, to the one
Did you
after
walk
that.
up there?
Yeah, we walked all the way to the top.
Awesome.
Mary and I did.
Cool.
Fantastic. And it keeps going and going and going. Like there's 3 levels to it all.
It's an awesome hike up there and beautiful
You
area.
do a fair bit of hiking, don't you?
Just a bit, yeah.
Okay. You enjoy hiking as well?
Yes, I enjoy pushing my son to the limits. Of going
well, it's just
Dad, no more.
It's just trying to get rid of this young nervous energy, isn't it, or something else?
It's a part of it.
When will we see a book of yours? Because what's this writing thing? Because I said to you, I've got this really cool book on Iceland aerials, and you said, yeah, I probably wrote the text on that. Were you serious?
I was joking actually on that. But,
yes.
But I did write a book or captions to it.
All right.
Kind of coffee table book.
On Iceland aerials?
Yeah.
Why? Because you knew the places so well, or you flew the photographer?
Well, I used to be a journalist. And I still am.
Right.
No, I'm not a journalist, but an editor. So
I don't know what the hell to believe from you now.
Yeah, well, I wear many hats.
So
Let's put it that way.
Right.
So I like writing.
Right.
And I did that as a favor to my friend.
Nice.
As well.
Do you enjoy the publishing side of things? Is there a book that we'll see from Mr. Volcano Pilot one day that all the 18,000 Instagram followers can buy?
I'd wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Are you generally happy with the shots that you get when you're flying the other photographers around?
I love when they get awesome shots.
Right.
That's
the right thing to say.
When I get decent shots, I go yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But it's.
Is your style?
I'm not competing.
Is your style similar to mine or others that you fly with as well, who like the more? my style of photography, what I like to shoot. Is that your style as well? Is it more the abstract landscapes, or is it just more the documentation? Or you don't mind?
I'll switch in between.
Right.
And I go like, for me, shooting the rivers is, I hardly ever do that anymore. But
why? You've been there, done that, seen them too many times already.
When you do this like 3-4 times a week,
I can imagine.
You probably will get kind of not tired of it, but
no,
I've shot it.
Yeah, right. Of course, you don't need to do it again.
You're not getting that best shot again.
Right. Correct.
So, but I always take the camera with me.
Yeah.
I made that mistake once with Chris that I didn't.
Yes.
And I will never ever forgive myself for that.
Don't be so harsh on yourself.
it was the guy used it on his front page, and I go like, I missed that shot.
Was it an epic shot?
It was just the best.
What was it of?
Kind of a canyon of, not a canyon, but a narrowing in a river with, and the river was just so incredibly blue that we had to take a video to show that we did not oversaturate this.
Wow. And what made that, because that was leading into my next question, is what made that particular time be so good? Was it the time of year? Was it the atmospheric conditions? Was it the light? Was it the time of day? What made that?
Probably
so good?
Everything.
Right. Everything
Honestly,
came together.
Everything that it was the light. It was the perfect position of the sun. It was the time of year where you'd have a little bit of snow around, but not too much.
Yeah.
And it was just the perfect shot.
What are there better times of year to photograph those colours in the rivers to any other, or it always looks good?
No. So the colors in the rivers come out like in March, April, May, maybe.
Right.
May is pretty decent time for it will probably be there.
Right.
And at that time, it depends on how much rainfall it's been in the last few days.
So more rainfall is better than less.
Not necessarily. There is a kind of a golden balance there somewhere. Then you have, there's no freezing in the glaciers are melting at that point, so there's more water in the rivers, and there's been rainfall. Then you have the most perfect colors.
And you've had plenty of that recently.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Right.
Not too shabby.
Okay.
As you saw, probably.
What creates the colour in the rivers? Because from a lot of the posts that I've been putting up, they've been loving the yellow water. So what is that again?
If it's yellow, it's probably farmland. From the farmlands of the southern area.
Yeah.
So there are ditches that run into the rivers.
So that's soil?
So that's probably,
Because we've been telling everyone it's sulfur.
Sulfur?
Yeah. It's a volcanic area.
It's sulfur. It's
definitely
a lot
sulfur.
of sulfur.
You see, I've educated you on this.
Thank you.
Interview.
And
That's all right.
I'm a fucking geologist.
I'm not. You're a geologist, a journalist, a business consultant, a pilot, a volcanologist, a meteorologist,
and a choir instructor.
A choir instructor as well. That's
sometimes a guitarist in a heavy rock band.
Oh my god. If we had any more of this would be crazy and go for too long,
and
everyone
make
would
decent
shut
pizza
down.
as well and
shut
beer.
down. What creates the blue color, the glacial melt?
It depends on several factors, like how fast the water is moving.
Yep.
For example, if it's in a puddle.
Okay.
If it's in a puddle, not a river.
Yep.
It depends on the influx of water into that puddle. If it's in a river, then it's how high the river or deep that part of the river is, and of course how the light hits it.
Right.
You're not getting the same shot twice.
Right. Okay. Is there an ideal time of day to fly? I mean, we flew sort of early afternoon, sort of 2 till 4 sort of thing. Is there?
You liked it?
You
like the light?
Well, I like that because when you're photographing from above, obviously light coming from above generally penetrates into the water and produces those colours that you're after rather than skimming across on an angle.
The thing is, I always say it depends on what you're shooting.
Right.
We've had golden hour up in the Highlands with mountains and all.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, right.
Right. That doesn't work down in the rivers.
No, won't bring out the colour.
No.
Yeah, so again, just depends on what you're shooting, as you've said.
It depends.
Yeah, right.
Always.
I had a great question in my head.
Forgot it.
Just went straight out the other side.
Yeah.
That's
It happens
a shame.
with AIDS.
With age. Yeah. I can't remember. Let's wrap it up. It's been awesome to chat with you. Thank you so
You
much
too.
for making your time available. Thank you for taking us out flying, because that was really a life experience.
It was an awesome experience.
It was
Even
amazing
for me.
experience, and you make it a great experience. By the way, for those who fly, we should probably just say this. I'm not going to give it away too much. There's some great things that happen on the flight, and it makes it very relaxing for me. I shoot better when I'm relaxed rather than thinking about, shit, I'm paying, X number of dollars an hour, and this is costing me money, and am I seeing the shots, and am I producing the shots? Whereas you just made it a really relaxing experience whereby it just allowed me just to think nothing about anything else other than, well, if I see a nice shot, I'll take it.
Good.
Of which there were plenty.
Good to know.
Thank you very much. So
Awesome.
I hope we can fly again soon. Thank you so much, and for making yourself available and being so awesome. And I hope that we can catch up again soon.
Hopefully, the sooner the better.
The sooner, the much better. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, or what? What do you say
That
to
was
you?
10 minutes.
What do
I
you say
say.
to you? He was like 10 minutes max.
That
14
40 minutes. You see, we have so much to talk about. You see, other people aren't nearly as interesting as you, so that's why she hasn't pressed. You